This relaxation is to support you in managing the symptoms of menopause through a gentle and nurturing space for you to tap into your inner wisdom and find peace and balance as you navigate through this beautiful stage of life. This process is meant to complement traditional medicine or herbal remedies and serve as a tool to train your body and mind to cope with symptoms of menopause. Despite the challenges of that physiological condition, we can train the body to manage many of these processes. This can be a time of liberation and self-discovery in life. Through relaxation, we'll focus on training your inner thermostat to change hot flushes, filter out discomfort from mood swings, diminish heat sensations by replacing them with cool, comfortable feelings, and to become attuned to your subconscious cues, allowing you to shift into more balanced states automatically. This will allow you to embrace this life change, to trust in the primal wisdom of your body to adapt easily and naturally to this situation and seize opportunities it brings. This is no substitute, though, for medical support. So if anything comes up that's outside the realm of ordinary experience, please also check with a medical professional. As we begin, take a moment to tune into your body and breath. Breathe in deeply, lifting the chest cavity and pushing down the abdomen, rolling back your shoulders, and let go of any tension in your muscles. Sit up straight, with shoulders gently rolled back, and feel yourself fully supported, sinking into that relaxed posture. As we start the countdown, we'll guide you through a progressive relaxation exercise. Each part of your body will be bathed in a warm, soothing light that you imagine, helping you to feel more relaxed and calm. Now imagine yourself in a peaceful place where you feel calm and serene. This could be a quiet beach, a lush forest, a cozy cabin in the mountains. Take in the sights. Imagine the sounds, the sensations of this place, and allow yourself to fully immerse in the experience. Let yourself feel supported and safe. Commencing down from 5, take a deep breath in. Feel your chest gently rise as you inhale. Hold it for a moment, then release the breath slowly, feeling your body relax. Repeat this, taking your time with each breath. As you continue to breathe deeply, imagine yourself walking along a serene path on a warm, sunny day, taking the sights. Enjoy the sounds. What delightful scents are around you. Feel that sense of adventure and anticipation for the future steps. On 4 now, as you walk along the path, notice how it twists and turns, just like life. Each turn can bring new seasons. Take a moment to appreciate all that each season has to offer. And continue on to emerge into a new blossoming spring day. On 3, just like spring, you can look forward to a new and thoroughly enjoyable phase of your life. It's time to live your life on your terms and truly know yourself. On 2, becoming more deeply relaxed, letting go of our tensions. Remember to take deep breaths. Each time you need to let tension in your muscles go. As you continue to imagine yourself walking on this path, feel yourself becoming more and more relaxed with each step. On 1, sinking into a settled, relaxed state. When you're ready, take one final deep breath. And after you slowly release it, you'll breathe easily and be most relaxed. Imagine now, as if you were to step back inside your mind as a smaller version of yourself, like looking through your eyes as if they were windows. You're standing at a control desk with levers and switches so that you can control aspects of your reality. Just like you can close your eyes and imagine that there could be a bunch of flowers in front of you. Then you could imagine how a rose amongst those looks, how it caresses the sensory experience in your nose. Remembering those delightful sensations so that when you open your eyes, even if the rose isn't there, the sense of happiness and joy may be felt in your cheeks or the warmth in your heart. There are many functions like this that we can control in our body, like relaxation. Every night as you go to sleep, your body drifts into a state where you're half asleep and half awake. Every morning when you wake up, there's a moment when you're not really fully conscious and in control. Just like when you're vacuuming or exercising, we can get in the zone or in a mode, and we can train our body to get into these modes through that control desk. So in the same way, if we think about a very cold place, how it might make us shiver and chatter our teeth, and how it might bring the chill to our bone, imagining an icy wind and focus on how that feels and affects all parts of your body, noticing how your temperature changes. Now change. Imagine sweltering heat and all the bodily symptoms that come with it. And again, see how your mind experiences body temperature changes. Interestingly, we find that as a person trains in these methods, we also see some physiological changes that can be measured. People can cope with more rapid hot and cold flushes with ease, whether external or internal. Just like for millennia, people have survived living in the elements because their bodies could adapt. A runner who is not training regularly to cope will struggle, whereas when they practice, their internal mechanisms will be able to cool, just like a person working in a freezer. They are not intentionally training, but as they work harder in that cool room, their body adapts to the space. Science shows us that this is true, and how a hot flush is not any different from a sudden mood change or a feeling of nausea. If we can control all of these things normally by relaxing ourselves, which increases the body's immune response and increases the body's ability to digest things appropriately, then relaxation, the response, also brings blood to the surface of the skin, helping to increase our circulation and naturally bounce our thermostat back to balance. As we know, this is a normal bodily function, and that with training we can learn to maintain this. Change can be a challenge to cope with, especially when we spend so long comfortable with whom we are. And then, as we identify changes, it's often due to something out of our control. Just like a garden that we've tenderly cared for may become slightly overgrown and worn by the summer. Then winds come, and rains and storms could beat down upon the plants we cultivated, which could wash away many things, good and bad. We may need to do a big clean-up. It would seem unfair that we've worked so hard to become the person we wanted, and it cannot continue in the same manner. Then we may need to do some work to clean things up. And with that work, as the ground soaks in the goodness that is falling from the sky, new sprouts emerge, and the garden never remains the same. A new form emerges that we begin to embrace and form a bond of enjoyment and appreciation for. With effort, we can learn to embrace the change and become a new and exciting version of ourselves. Little can stay the same, so embracing this form of flux will empower us towards being the best version of ourselves that we can be in each day. Imagine something different now. If a person moves to a cold place in the summer, their body would gradually adapt to cope with the coldest part of the year. Similarly, if a person moves to a hot place in the coolest part of the year, their body would then gradually adapt to cope better with that most other extreme part of the year. In the same manner, we can also train our body to cope with more rapid hot and cold flushes. A runner training their body to cope does likewise. So imagine the dials in your control room of your body as if it were a lookout in a large factory station. We can imagine this space. Now imagine the controls being moved towards better functioning. So we imagine all those times in our life when we've tolerated heat. Have you been in a sauna and enjoyed as sweat flowed from you and cleared out your body? Have you been in a desert and felt that heat permeate through your entire being inside and out? Have you experienced the summer when you haven't had an air cooler and felt it resonate through each part of you, through your joints and cleansing your skin? Notice now where the dials are, and let us imagine taking a deep breath and starting to transition, going out of that sauna-like heat, whether that be that we are changing now and moving through a plane or walking outside, jumping into a full cool bath, sliding into that place. We notice the coolest sensations, being in the water and loving to plunge in to the depths, or walking through the crisp winter air, enjoying the morning sunrise amongst the mist in the cold water of the morning air, noticing how that feels through our entire being, how it affects every muscle, how that cool air refreshes the inside of our lungs, how it changes the sensations of taste and smell, how it permeates through our entire being. Where are those dials now? Imagine there are numbers on these levers and dials. There's a number for before when things were hot. Let's turn it back up to that point now. Imagine that you could be rugged up in so many blankets that you're heating up. Imagine you're in a room with a warm fire running. Imagine that you're snuggled up and appreciating the warmth as the heat begins to rise. Imagine a hot summer's day when you're craving for a cool drink, sweltering in the heat, and your body's coping fine with this. See now where the number is, and know that in your mind you can shift this number each time as long as you're building this skill and practicing shifting between those states. Now let's imagine taking a deep breath and starting a transition out of the sauna or hot place, whether that be changing and jumping on the plane, but going back to the cool. Notice how it feels through your entire being, how it affects every muscle. Notice that crisp, cold air. Where is the dial now? Let's turn it down again, that thermostat, like the air cooler in your home. See now where the number is in your mind. Shall we now wonder how this could be any different from mood states rising and falling as we come to balance with our temperature, shifting the dials? Imagine two more levers forming a cross like the X and Y axis on a graph, where there is one lever on a vertical plane going up for high energy and down for low energy. Then the horizontal lever can move on to the left for negative moods and over to the right for positive moods. As we are happy, they move up to high energy and across to the right for positive moods. And as we move down to low energy and left to negative energy positions, we become saddened and lower. Then moving up in energy and remaining left in a negative mood induces irritability towards frustration. I wonder with practice, as you shift those levers back to centre, how you will notice these different moods. If you will see those levers moving in different directions, and how you can also notice the sensations in your body as those moods come up, in your breathing, in your posture, places where you feel happy within your body. Where are they experiencing these moods within your facial expressions, in the temperatures throughout your body, in the resonance and vibrations within your body? Or is it felt in your body when you again feel irritable? Are there tensions? Is there a fogginess, a haze, bouncing of other energies? Where do these things reside throughout your body? Is it in the abdomen, the shoulders, the neck, the head, or in your fingers? Notice now as you become irritable and then shift into sadness, how can these physiological symptoms change? Is it in the legs and hands, or just the energy being somewhere real or an indescribable essence that's outside yourself? Is it within your mind, your heart, or your stomach? Notice how your physiology changes, what it feels like. What colour is it? What are the qualities you might be able to use to describe these abstract sensations and how they align with those levers? Notice where the indicator lights are in your control room as these different states arise. Notice now when the energy lever is down and the mood lever is somewhat positive, how it can feel rather apathetic or burnt out. Where we have no energy, even though we can be in a positive mood. Physiological symptoms. Noticing where they correspond with the controls in your control room. Where do these bodily symptoms reside? Are they in a tension of quality or sounds that you could use to describe these abstract symptoms? The symptoms never really perfectly match to the emotions that we verbally describe. These experiences are abstract. We can somewhat estimate them with these levers. Now, as we imagine those different physiological states, how is this any different from thinking about something relaxing and calming, and then thinking about it for a little in the way that we can trigger our mind to get to sleep? If we practice this skill, how is this any different from a runner or other reflex that we train through sports that will become better in our achievement so long as we're practicing them? And perhaps soon you'll find that you'll begin to have more control as you switch the temperature dial and those mood levers to the places that are necessitated, and monitor the lights to show where things are within your body so that you can then adjust. Certainly there will be calls from your body to tell you about hot flushes or moods arising. You may pay attention to these indicator lights because they're a natural part of the body's system to give us warning, and we can appreciate those before adjusting necessarily and shifting the levers as we need. There are actually no pain receptors in our body at all. It is our mind that takes interpretations and formulates these into the sensation of pain. Our body remembers pressure and temperature in different locations and then interprets those. Just as if we have a paper cut, it may not hurt until we look at it. In the same way, we can reverse this, that we can choose these sensations in terms of what conclusions we draw. So as we now retrain our mind just like recultivating the garden. Just as we train for sports or other activities to increase our skills, we can place the levers in different locations for different sensations. Notice where the indicators move and then shift the levers as we relax and change our physiological state. We can acknowledge those indicators like small alarm bells that come up to keep us notified if we need to shift the dials and to support ourselves in any needs we have. As long as we appreciate these minor alarm bells of different changes in mood and temperature, so that we can respectfully account for our body's needs and appreciate its wisdom. We can consider what our body's telling us. Am I out of energy? Am I feeling that I don't need to cope anymore with this? Is there too much pressure? Do I need some time out from this situation? Are we addressing all of these needs? And if we're doing so, then our body can be confident to appropriately move those levers and the thermostat dial to where we'd appreciate them. Imagine yourself now surrounded by nature's beauty, standing in a lush green forest. The leaves of the trees gently sway in the breeze, creating a calm, rustling sound. As you stand there, take a moment to appreciate your efforts in managing these menopause symptoms. You've come a long way on this journey and you've done an amazing job. Now imagine these changes starting to take shape in your daily life. See the improvements in your overall well-being and notice how others are drawn to your inner peace and tranquility. What have they noticed in this change that you're experiencing internally? With practice, your skills will deepen and you'll take pride in the progress you've made. Let's take a few deep breaths to ground ourselves as we close out through this moment. As you inhale, wiggle your toes and feel the earth beneath your feet. Exhale, slowly let go of any tension you may be holding. Starting to wake up. Inhaling again, deeply, stretching your arms out to the side, feeling the gentle expansion of your chest. Exhale and allow your arms to relax back down to your sides. Counting down from 5 as we awake. 5, breathing deeply with each number. Feeling peaceful and calm. 4, your body is relaxed now and at ease. 3, your mind is focused and clear. 2, feel with a sense of accomplishment and pride. And 1, open your eyes, feeling wide awake and ready to take on the day. As you go about your day now, remember the power of your mind-body connection. You can learn to manage these symptoms with ease and grace. Have a wonderful day.